Thanks for taking the time to see us. Do appreciate that. I know you're busy. I just wondered if you could tell us a little bit about the business. I know it's a family-owned business and it's been going for a long time, but exactly how long have you been running for?
Okay, the company was established in 1954, so that's 65 years ago this year. I've been involved in the business for 46 of those 65 years. We're based here in Chilcompton, which is in Somerset, and we've been on this site 41 years. So it's all years and years and years. We've other bases. We've a base at Avonmouth, which is a large warehousing site, and various other properties around the area.
Okay, so you've been involved in the industry, man and boy. Have you ever been a driver?
Yes, I was a driver. In those days, you could drive an 8.5 ton truck at 17.
Yeah.
So as soon as I was 17, I passed my test, and within a fortnight, I was off delivering in London with. I remember my first load was 8 deliveries of paper bags. So I was driving along with the steering wheel in one hand and an A to Z in the other.
That was the good old days before sat-navs, because
yes.
I remember when you needed to go somewhere, you got your map out, plotted a course, and then you had a sense of achievement when you got there. Now it's just you follow the sat-nav, look out the window. And
you mentioned sat-navs. I remember being at the local pub, and just when sat-navs came in and somebody came up and said, "Oh, I suppose your driver's got sat-navs," and I said, "No, my best driver hasn't even got a map book." "Why not?" I said, "Because he's been everywhere."
Yeah, all the older drivers call them sat-navers because
they prided themselves on knowing where to go in, but you now see examples of people following these sat-navs to the point they can't go any further.
Yeah.
Wedged between two buildings. So
you've seen those videos of HGVs on YouTube.
Yeah, we've had them ourselves.
Have you?
Yeah. Not wedged between buildings, but basically going down little lane to the point they can't go any further, but also they can't reverse. So yeah, I think a lot of us have suffered from that.
God, I don't know how they get them out of those situations, to be honest.
With a lot of money. Big wreckers. But the problem is with sat-navs, they follow them from the very beginning. They, instead of sort of getting to Manchester and then switch them on to get them the final mile, they just follow them from the minute they leave here, and then when there's something, when the road's blocked, they don't know where they are and how they get round it. And
you don't learn anything because you're just
you're
not concentrating.
It's like riding as passenger in the car.
Yeah.
If you're a passenger, you never take any notice of where you're going.
Yeah.
And that's not until you get into the driving seat that you think, "Christ, how do I get there?"
Did you ever graduate to 44 tonners, or did you?
No, I had my little 8.5 ton Bedford, and the next step was going to be when I was 21 and driving. Well, in those days, they were 32 ton gross Arctics, but unfortunately, Doug Massey of the Massey and Wilcox, he had a stroke in 1978. So at the age of 21, I was in the office, and I haven't moved out since. I have a Class 1, and I drive occasionally.
Just keep your eye in.
Well, I'm a firm believer, never ask a man to do what you can't do yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like to keep my hand in. The doctors are always trying to take it away from me for various reasons, but at the moment I've still got it.
So, how do you find the getting drivers these days? Are you suffering the same as we do?
We're suffering like everybody. There's not enough lorry drivers. It's not a desirable industry. They're not treated properly for the work they do. Come the night times, there's not enough space for them to park at. The facilities are awful. I spent a fortnight in America with an owner driver who emigrated over there. He worked for me for 16 years, and he went across to live in Canada, and I visited him about 5 years ago, and I spent a fortnight in the cab with him. And I can tell you, the Americans look after their lorry drivers.
Well,
we will never ever get to that point.
It's a different life. You see the ice road truckers and things like that, don't you?
The trucks over there is a lifeblood of the country, as they are here, but they're not recognised to be the lifeblood of the country here. They're just an irritation on our roads.
Yeah.
And when you get to a factory and you're told you can't use the toilet because you're a lorry driver, and I've actually had that happen to myself in Bristol, that is really sums up what we think of lorry drivers.
Do you know what happens? We've had complaints from companies because we don't always deliver with the same driver, and whenever the driver asks to use the toilet, we get a complaint. Tell your drivers they can't use our toilet. It's just basic human courtesy, and they don't extend it to another.
It's human rights, not human courtesy. Yeah. But I mean, the RHA, which is our trade association, has made a big move on this, not letting lorry drivers use toilet. And I know there are an element that will make how can I word it? They will misuse the facilities, which is sad. But then that happens in every walk of life.
So. Yeah, I mean, how many trucks are you running here at Black?
We run 65 with just over 100 trailers. We employ, I think it's 110 people over 2 sites, which is the Chilcompton site and the Avonmouth site. I think we have about 15 or so vehicles that are engaged on the pallet track work. The rest are distance. I voted to remain because the job I do. I like the fact that a customer could ring up and say, I've got a pallet from Manchester and a pallet from Munich. And it doesn't matter where it's going, it just happens. Now you've got all these customs formalities to worry about, and the extra cost that could make that customer uncompetitive selling abroad. So I was a remainer, but the country voted to leave, so let's get on and leave.
Okay, yeah. You're a Pallet Track member the same as Hellman are.
Yeah.
How long have you been a member of Pallet Track for? Or involved in Pallet Networks?
I think it was the beginning of 2016, or it's about 4 years anyway.
Yeah. Coming
up to 4 years. We were in Palex for 18 years prior to that. We joined Palex in 1998. And like I said, the opportunity came to move about 4 years ago to Pallet Track, and I must say it was a good decision. The Pallet Track member for Cornwall, which is RR Transport, the chap who owns that, Mark Bailey, had joined an association of about 65 family road haulage businesses called the Transport Association, which I've been a member since 1991, so quite a few years. Yeah. And he was in Pallet Track, and talking to him, I got a bit interested. Probably this is where Mark got the information from, and anyway, cut a long story short, a short time later I gave him notice in, and we moved to Pallet Track, and I most certainly haven't looked back. It's a good network. I'm pleased to belong to it. I mean, every vehicle that goes out of here that's on that work is signed written Pallet Track. So I believe in it.
How's your European business changed over the last 4 or 5 years since you've been in Pallet Track? Is it because it's
fairly constant. I mean, it's not big numbers, but there can't be a day go by that we're not putting something in.
Do you find you get European work from your normal pallet customers, and it's just a bolt-on, or is it something you actively pursue?
Funny enough, it's something that I do myself.
Yeah.
Because it does need a bit of extra care here and there, and so rather than load the traffic desk down with it, I take care of European myself. And to be honest, your customers can be pretty cute when it comes to UK pallet prices, and they'll drop you for 10 pence if the opportunity arises. But they're a little bit more nervous about European, and many of them are happy to say, oh, "Can you get that pallet to Germany? Fine, just get on and get it there."
Yeah.
Don't worry about the cost.
It's nice if you've got a one-stop shop and they've got a one-stop shop. It's just
the truck pulls up. They put all their pallets on for the UK and Ireland, and they shove all their pallets on for Europe, and it's gone. And it's all they need to do is a couple of days later pick the phone up and say, "When do you think it's going to be there?" If they need to know.
Yeah.
But to be honest, that didn't really happen. The main countries, of course, are probably France, the Netherlands, and Germany, and of course the service there is between 2 and 4 days.
Yeah.
Say for France, it takes a bit longer, but yeah, you get some team to think it's going to get there next day, and they just no idea of geography. But I've always I think it's a good earner. I mean the margin, you can achieve a better margin on a European pallet than you are a UK pallet.
That's for sure. Yeah. That's what we're trying to get out to the wider community, to say that, you know, if you've got a bit of space on a double deck going into the hub, you can make a lot of money out of that space if you just pick up a little bit of European business and we give you the right service.
Yeah, you know, when we're out, when our salesman's out knocking on new doors, you know, it's brought into the conversation. And what about European? You know, and some don't do it, and they say others are interested. Oh, what have you got to offer? You know, it's a good selling tool.
Yeah.